Welcome to Somewhere and Elsewhere, Coastal Carolina Arts Podcast by Shoresides. I'm Kevin Levi Green. Coming up next, a Somewhere and Elsewhere special where we uncover stories from artists across the coastal region.
Hi, I'm Dana Rossi and I'm a reporter for Somewhere and Elsewhere. For residents living along the coastal regions of North Carolina, hurricanes are nothing out of the ordinary. And while many residents have braved multiple hurricanes in their lives and are well versed in prepping for such storms, we often forget the importance of protecting the smaller aspects of our lives. It can be devastating to lose cherished artwork or family photographs, and with them so many beloved memories. Of course, the safety of ourselves and the loved ones around us is top priority, but it's worth taking the extra steps to protect our memories as well. With the help of Katy Menne, Curator of Education at the North Carolina Maritime Museum at Southport, we've outlined 5 tips for preserving your artwork and family photographs during a hurricane. First, it's important to scan or photograph all artwork, photographs, and documents and upload them to a hard drive or cloud service.
In order to get a high-res scanner, you can go in as a neighborhood or with friends. You can also contact local historical societies or museums. They may be willing to work with you to digitize some of your items.
You can also use a bank deposit box as a backup.
You can put stuff in a bank deposit box, and while they're not waterproof, it offers a second location to house your items in the event that you lose your house in a storm or whatnot, that there's that backup.
It's also helpful to keep an inventory of important documents and photographs in the event that items get lost or damaged due to a storm. When it comes to storing family archives, it's important to keep all hard drives, photographs, and albums in sealed plastic bags and airtight plastic containers.
We want to stay away from any cardboard when you're preserving images or items as well.
Another common tip is to use your dishwasher as waterproof storage. There are, however, many drawbacks to this method.
It still has water access, so if your water line breaks, you could be damaging. It's actually a great place for mold to grow, so if you don't have it completely dried out, just be careful. That is a common one that people say, but we advise against that.
It's also helpful to keep some kit essentials to not only prevent damage, but prepare for any cleanup that may be necessary.
So in your pre-planning stages, your kit essentials, you definitely need the plastic bin. Also having nitrile gloves and N95 masks, which we do recognize are hard to come by in today's world, but to kind of help with any of those mold spores, those are both really helpful, as well as having soot sponges. Soot sponges work incredibly well to get debris off of artifacts and off of artworks without damaging the actual object.
Finally, when damage does occur, it's important to handle artwork and images with care and take the right cleaning measures.
You don't want to touch the surface of the images, and you want to make sure that you don't force them apart. So remove them from frames if possible, but if they're stuck, to let them dry where they are. And as always, contacting professionals if something seems really bad.
Mold is also a common occurrence that requires extra precautions.
If there's mold, and keeping in mind that mold can grow within 48 hours and only needs 65% humidity to start growing, make sure that you're working outside, not touching when the mold is slimy, but letting it get to the dusty phase. And then items that are moldy and wet, you can actually freeze.
Lastly, it's important to protect yourself whenever cleaning with harsh chemicals.
One of the things that we like to say is if you are using Clorox, make sure you're not also using ammonia, because the two of them combining make toxic fumes.
Hopefully these tips can prevent the loss of priceless family memories and archives as we navigate the coming hurricane season here in North Carolina and all along the East Coast. Thank you to the North Carolina Maritime Museum at Southport and the North Carolina Department of Natural and Cultural Resources for their help. For more information, check out the North Carolina Maritime Museum at Southport on YouTube for a playlist of videos addressing hurricane preparedness and preserving family archives.
You've been listening to Somewhere and Elsewhere, a Coastal Carolina arts podcast on working narratives and Shoresides. Shoresides is a local journalism project serving the coastal Carolinas and beyond. Know of a coastal Carolina artist we should be covering? Contact us at info@shoresides.org. I'm Kevin Levi Green. Thank you for listening.